What up, Char-Chars? It's your boy, Zach Commander, your fearless leader, back at again on our video, another banger. So today is a Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous spoiler review today. Sorry, that's spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you don't want to if you don't want to watch this video, I would highly recommend you go out of this video, watch Camp Cretaceous, 2 hours and 40 minutes for the whole series, 8 episodes. 20 minutes, I am pretty sure, and it'll be 2 hours and 40 minutes to watch. So after those 2 hours and 40 minutes are up, I would highly suggest come back here and watch my spoiler review. So we are going to be going through every single episode of Camp Cretaceous, which I have on my iPad that is right next to me, and I'm going to be going through every episode, giving my description of the video, and just everything like a normal reviewer of TV shows pretty much does. Alright, let's get into it, guys. So, the first episode, I actually have it on Netflix up right now. The first episode, number 1, Camp Cretaceous. My description is I'm pretty sure 6 teenagers come to this island, and Darius is the main character of this show, wants to come to the park for his whole life. He's been wanting to come with his dad to see Jurassic World. So he wanted to do this for like his whole life, and he finally was able to come because he beat a video game, and nobody has beat this video game. And so they get there, and they are greeted by Dave, I believe. And then I forgot her name, but another girl, which is named I don't remember her name. Oh yeah, and by the way, I will show the episode name way before, so sorry if I didn't say that. I'll be showing them for every single one. So I'll be showing the episode in Netflix's description. So back to what I'm saying, and they finally get there, and then they get to their hotel, and it's like they get to their like apartment, and the characters are Darius, Kenji, Brooklyn, Sammy, and Yasmina, and Ben. And then you have Dave and Roxy, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Dave and Roxy, yeah. And they get there and they capture a compy, and they get to their hotel, and then at night they sneak out into the raptor paddock, but they think it's a compy paddock, but it's actually a raptor paddock. Brooklyn drops her phone. Kenji goes in, gets the phone. They get in trouble, and that's pretty much the end of the full episode. I think the episode was very good. It is probably my second favorite episode out of the whole series, out of the full 8 episodes. Just because that I love the intro. That is one of the best intros I have ever seen in a long time in a show. Amazing World of Gumball is probably one of my favorite intros, but enough of that. Camp Cretaceous is probably one of my favorite TV show intros. I would give this episode probably 4.5 out of 10 stars, just because I feel like that they could have done more with the episode. Well, actually, 5 star 10. Wait, what? What am I saying? 5 out of 5 stars, just because I feel like that the episode was amazing. Sorry that I changed my score. I just thought that like it had everything I needed, so I couldn't think of anything wrong about it. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10 stars. 5.5 out of 5 stars for episode 1. The episode name is Camp Cretaceous. Okay, now on to episode 2. My description of episode 2 is that Darius and Kenji are in big trouble, and so they spend a whole day going, and they're cleaning up dinosaur crap. That's right, dinosaur crap. Whole big pile of crap. you'll know that that's a Jurassic Park reference if you saw the first movie. That's one big pile of crap that they had to clean up. And I don't know what dinosaur that is. Maybe a Triceratops. Okay, now with the puns from the first movie. Okay, so like I said, Darius and Kenji are in big trouble, and then the other kids, Ben, Yasmina, Sammy, and Brooklyn, they are all going to the genetics lab where Dr. Wu works, Dr. Henry Wu. And so they get there, and then Kenji's father works at Jurassic World and doesn't take any good care of him. He really puts him behind. He really hasn't spent any time with him at all, really. So they sneak out, and they know one of the places where they could sneak out at, and it's like a rock that lifts up, and then they climb in, and it's like, you know that part in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom where they go into like one of those things where that guy tries to hack into the thing, and then they end up locking the doors. That's the type of place where then the baryonyx comes in, lava comes in, all that stuff. And that's one of the type of places that they are at right now. And they are down there, and then they sneak up in the paddock. And I would guess the amount of time that they're there. Oh, by the way, it's a Carnotaurus paddock. And it's Toro, the Carnotaurus. It's a Carnotaurus paddock. So they sneak up from the ladder, and they come in. And then they're walking out at estimate from how tired they all are, like 30 minutes of walking, and they get to the fence. Darius realizes that something is wrong. He tells Kenji, "Don't you think we're on the other... You know what side of the fence we're on, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "And you're not... and you really do know the front side and the exterior and the interior?" And then they realize they are in the inside of the paddock. The Carnotaurus comes up behind them and gives them a yum face. And then they start running away. And then we go over to the genetics lab where they're all looking around. And then they see Dr. Henry Wu, and they go in, and then one of the eggs are hatching, an Ankylosaurus egg to be exact. And while they're looking there, Dr. Henry Wu goes, "That's not correct. That egg shouldn't be hatching. And then he goes, opens, and then Ben, by the way, is a complete germaphobe and kind of afraid of everything. Of course you have to have that in a Jurassic World movie, come on. So they go in, and then he sees the egg, and then, of course, it rolls off the table like clumsy dinosaur. Then he picks it up, and then he pulls the part of the egg off of him, and he names it Bumpy, which by far is one of my most favorite characters from the entire series. And I love Bumpy, the Ankylosaurus. He's just so cute. So freaking cute. And he gives him the name, and then Brooklyn sneaks into like Dr. Wu's place, like the backstage area, like the restricted area, and she goes in and she's looking around and goes to Dr. Wu's place, and then she finds Sammy there, and she's like, she goes and she's like, "I really gotta go to the bathroom. I don't know where it is." And then she goes into Dr. Wu's lab, tries to go in on the computer, and then she finds the files for the Indominus Rex. And by the way, this takes place during Jurassic World, so 2015 is when this series is taking place. And by the way, this is episode 2, just in case you guys are wondering, and it's called Secrets. And then she takes an SD card, I believe, USB card, whatever it is, then sneaks out, and then, Dr. Wu finds her. And Ben's Caterpie playing with Bumpy, and then says, "You guys ought to go." And now we go back to the Toro and Kenji. They are running for their lives, trying to keep up, and then Darius is a dino nerd, like they call him, that's his nickname in the show, Dino Nerd. And they go in, and they run away from Toro. Yeah. they're just running away from Toro the Carnotaurus. And they sneak in through like this one cage and stuff. And then Kenji gets out and he says, "Kenji, help me." And then he's like, "Kenji!" Because he left him there. And he thinks he left him there. He looks down, but then he comes over with his sticks and pries it open. And Toro, well, it now has a bloody gash across his face. And so that's pretty much that episode. And then they come back and they see them right near the pile of crap. And then they're panting. They're like, "Why are you guys all panting?" And so, yeah, that is the first episode of Secrets. I would rate that 5.5 at 4.5 out of 5 stars. Just because I feel like they could have done a little bit better with the episode. Maybe make it like a little bit more obvious about what like what Sammy is doing. Make it like a little bit more suspicious, because I feel like that she's like not like that suspicious, but like a little more suspicious. And I feel like that they could have done better with the Toro scene where they're in the paddock, and they could have like maybe like make it so like that they're like really on a high chase, not just running from the dinosaur. Because like if you take it from the raptor thing in Jurassic, take it from the T-Rex scene and the Velociraptor scene. There was really extremely amount of like running and stuff and like athletics. They could have taken that and they could have put that into the show. Something exactly like that. And that just makes me give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't really my favorite episode, but it was still one of my favorites. Okay. Now we are on episode 3. And just so you know, since we're on episode 3, 5 more episodes to go. This is an 8 episode, and this will probably be about 30 minutes long, because I am currently 12 minutes into the YouTube video. So let's do this right now. Okay, let's see how the audio is doing. Okay, the audio is doing good. Okay, we're good. Okay, episode 3. Episode 3, the Cow Drive. So this episode, they are riding it's Gyrosphere Day, and they're riding alongside dinosaurs and stuff. Everybody's happy. They get into the Gyrospheres, and they're riding aside dinosaurs. I think I might have missed something in the first episode. Either the first or second episode, they're going a zipline ride over the dinosaurs. So this is episode 3. They're riding alongside dinosaurs in the herd. They have to go do something. Dave and Roxy, they have to go do something, and they try to play with this one Sinoceratops. I don't really remember what the it just looks like the Triceratops, but I think it's Sinoceratops. And they try to drive it far away from the herd and back to the herd, or they're either trying to drive it back to the herd. It's one of those. And they while they're doing that, they make it go far away, and then Darius and Brooklyn get under attack by the thing, and they all go spinning through the jungle, and then the Sinoceratops smashes his horn into from Darius and goes right into a mud hole, and they sink. And then they try to get it out using the Sinoceratops, and then fast forward to the end of the episode, we can see that Sammy, Brooklyn is trying to make a YouTube video and stuff, kind of like this one. She's a vlogger, and she is trying to, you can see in the video in the background, Sammy is stealing Sinoceratops DNA. And so that is the end of the episode. And by the way, Sammy walks in and sees her doing it, and then gets scared. So that is the my description of episode 3. By far, don't get mad at me. You guys are watching this too, but don't get mad at me. Episode 3 is by far my least favorite episode of all. I'll have to give that probably 3 out of 5 stars, just because I feel like that it was horribly put together. I just feel like that it was very bad. I was rewatching the series, so if you can see like the little red line at the bottom, I'm rewatching the series because I loved it so much. Not because I haven't watched it. I wouldn't be making this video yet if I haven't watched everything yet. Yeah. By far my least favorite episode. I just feel like that. I just didn't like of how they were. I just didn't like of how it revolved around a sign of Ceratops. I feel like that should have been Toro or something, trying to well, Toro is now the paddock. Yeah, it's like I just feel like that. Like, I just want it to be more. Like you know how how sometimes you go like in an episode like that. I didn't like that, but there's nothing to do it with. They can only use that one thing. So I just want it to be more. I don't know what they could have done. I feel like that they should have maybe had like a dino. See, now here's what it would have been cool if it was a Ankylosaurus also fighting a Sinoceratops. Now, see, that would be cool. Then an Ankylosaurus smashes them into the thing. I just would have liked that better. It would have been so much better if it was like a dinosaur fighting a dinosaur. Dinosaur accidentally drives them into the forest, and a Sinoceratops is like, "Ooh, I'm gonna charge these guys." Boom! Right into the mud pit. So yeah, by far, episode 3 is by far one of my least favorite episodes. Okay, now let's go on to episode 4. Episode 4 is the episode, and it's called Things Fall Apart. So this episode, everybody is livid with each other. They almost hate each other right now. And by the way, to give you a little bit of more of a time, it's 17 minutes in right now on my screen. So this is probably going to be a long one, guys. Things fall apart, and then we start with the episode of everybody's mad at each other. Kenji and Ben are mad at each other because, well, they are just mad at each other because Kenji accidentally did something and like tried to drive them to go save them, and they think they crashed. And everybody's just mad at each other. And Brooklyn walks into the room. You know it's bad when Brooklyn walks in the room. Because remember that episode Sammy stole the DNA from the Sinoceratops? See, episode 3, Sammy stole the DNA from the Sinoceratops. Yep. Brooklyn walks in the room, and then she's like, "Where in the heck is my phone?" Pretty much that's almost exactly what she does. And everybody is freaking mad with each other, like I already said. And then Brooklyn is like, "Where's my phone?" Then they already said that they have used their phone, but nobody has had it right now. And Sammy says, "Oh, I haven't seen it either." And then she goes, "Oh, really, Sammy? I don't know. Where is my freaking phone?" And she's like, "I don't know. I haven't seen it." He's like, "Oh," and talks crap. And then he goes, "Mina, they're both friends now." And they're like, because Sammy thinks that she could use a friend, but the only reason is she needed somebody to hide the evidence. He's like, "She didn't steal your phone," and something like that. And then they're just now arguing, and everybody's mad. They're just like, "It's kayaking day, everybody. Let's just have an amazing new fresh start of the day. Yay!" And so that, and then they hear something, which is the Adominus roar. I'll put an image of the Adominus Rex on right now. And that is the image of the Adominus Rex. And so yeah, they hear the Adominus Rex roar. And then Ben says, "I'm going to stay where we're supposed to be, do what we're supposed to do, and wait for the people that we're supposed to wait for." They go in the elevator, and then Kenji says, "Okay, you can play with your markers. You can play with your crayons and draw your Dino Crush. We're going to go up and see what that is." Ben's like stays there, and then he sees a dinosaur fossil that's in their apartment thingy, and then runs. And he says, and puts it in his tummy pouch, and it says, "Guys, wait up!" And then they're all running, and they hear something, and the people, and they both go up to the zip line place where they are, the zip line place, and they sneak into the zip line, and then, well, you know what happens, all this stuff, and then two people run out of the forest. Oh, and by the way, right when Ben runs out, it says asset out of containment, ECU. They say, ACU says, asset out of containment. That's not a bad word, everybody. That's just what they call it, because, you know, if you watch the Jurassic World, they say asset out of containment. So they go there, and now they're talking about all this stuff. And then two people come, and they're like, "You stupid kids, get down from there! Get down!" It's like, "Did you not hear me? Get down!" And then they're like, "So we can't hear you." Then the Indominus Rex comes in and has one of them for breakfast. So he has one of them for breakfast, and then they all ride on the zip lines, which is very smart, but the power is out, I believe. And well, the zip line stops, and then Darius pops out of his zip line, and then Yasmina says, "Darius, what are you doing?" He's like, then runs and goes, "Catch me!" And then they didn't use it yet, and then he lunges onto her, and then pushes on the zip line back, and then the Indominus Rex is able to grab the zip line. Pushes down the zip line part, and then it all falls down, and then they fall, and then they are knocked out for a little bit, and then they are now just going, and they're talking about, and then we see Darius going back to his father, and the father is now talking about with him that all the stuff that they have been trying to go through, because his dad had like a sickness, and he forgot his promise. Then he's trying to remember his promise with his dad that they will soon go to the Jurassic World. They will soon go, which I think is a very sad episode, because you get to see his dad in the hospital, and he's saying an emotional story about, "We will be going to Jurassic World soon, my son," something like that, and it's a very emotional episode, because I had one of my family members die. I didn't get to hear her last words, but I remember her calling me a couple of days before she passed, and I remember, like, she told me something, not like that, but I remember, like, I know how Darius feels, because he had one of his family members die. Not even like my parents, but like, yeah, one of my grandparents. So yeah. So with that out of the way, they then wake up, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" And then they start running, and they come face to face with the Indominus. So yeah, they pretty much come face to face with the Indominus Rex. Okay, so that is that episode. Oh, by the way, at the end of the episode, the Indominus and Toro come face to face. And then Indominus, end of episode. Okay, so, with out of the way, I would have to say that is one of their better episodes. That is one of their better episodes, I think, from the whole series. Which I loved it. I really liked that episode, just because of how it was, the introduction to the Indominus. I like that. And yeah. It's either in episode 5 or 6 where Masrani dies. They see where Masrani dies, all that, yeah. Next episode 5, is called Happy Birthday, Eddie. After they had the close call with the Indominus, they try to head to the genetics lab while they're walking. They're yelling about the phone again. I'm just tired about hearing the phone. You guys just don't know. This phone thing has been going on for about, I don't know. This phone thing has been going on for about like 2 episodes now. They have mentioned it like 1,000 times already. You just want them to shut up about it. It's annoying. So, after that, they are now going in the thing. And, by the way, we have a newcomer coming along. And you want to know who they find? Bumpy! They find my boy Bumpy. Bumpy, they find him and they bring him along in the pack. They bring him along in the pack, and it's just fun. And it's just fun, having a good time. Just the best. Here's a picture of Batman. Wait, why the heck is there a picture of Batman here? Never mind. So what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, Bumpy. So Bumpy, we see my boy Bumpy over here. Bumpy is back, and they bring him along with them, and they all say that he's gonna slow him down. And they get in the car. The Indominus Rex gives him a chase. And after all that, they get to the Gen X lab. The Gen X lab, they go in there, and then they see Eddie. It's his birthday, and I feel bad for the guy. Like, I really do. And he's also going freaking insane, too. I just feel very bad for him, you know? Like, you see all this stuff with this guy going around. It's just so sad. You see him, everybody ran away from him on his birthday. It's just very sad to see it. They get in, and then he's like, and pretty much all that crazy stuff, because he's like going crazy because everybody left him and didn't give him any warning. So they like dinosaur was out, and then like they said they have a car, and Kenji goes, guys, I left the keys in the car. And then they run, and he goes in the car, and then Yasmina tries to give him a chase, but Bumpy trips her, and then he goes, and then she goes, Bumpy, and then she gives the car another chase. Dominus goes, yike, knocks the car flips the car 1, 2, 3, right back again. And he goes gets out of the car and goes under the car and yum, eats the guy. Kind of deserved that from leaving the kids. And then they all start running away, and yeah, so pretty much they Bumpy saved Yasmina, and now they are going into the back, and they are now hiding like near the grates and stuff. And then the Indominus Rex sniffs them out, and then they run back to another crate. Darius throws a rock, and then Darius kind of throws like a rock. I'm just going to use the Pokemon Rowlet for example, and he they're hiding over here like this, and then while Darius is over here, he goes suddenly throws it away from them and goes woo, and then makes a stance, so the Indominus walks away from them, which is very smart, I think. So yeah, it's very smart of him. And then they get away from that. So much running, so much action. You're waiting is one of them gonna die? And then yeah, it's just very cool because you get to see all this action happening at one time. It's just very cool. And they make it out of there, and then they hide in one of the cars, and then they drive away, and then Yasmina is driving, and then Sammy and Brooklyn go, yay! And then they hit a bump. The cracked phone pops out of her pocket and goes, you did steal my phone. And then she goes then Yasmina is driving, she goes, Sammy? Crashes the car. And then, yeah. So, episode's over. I loved that episode. My favorite episode out of all of them right there. I will give it 4.5 out of 5 stars just because it's a good episode, but that part where they're trying to run away from the Dominus, all of the shipping boxes and stuff, the blue shipping packages, I don't know what they're called, shipping metal boxes or something. I just that scene took way too long. But I know if that was in real life, I would just be happy to get out of there. But see, I just feel like that just took like way too long. That scene. So that's why I give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's my favorite episode out of the whole series. Okay. So I have enough space. This is already 2.45 gigabytes right now. Hopefully the episode didn't stop. We're at 30 minutes on my camera. Let's get in. We have 3 more episodes left, so I'm just going to give a short description so this video can be done and you guys can go. Number 6 is Welcome to Jurassic World. They are now fleeing, and they find the river adventure. They hop in one of the boats, and they get in, and they're driving, and then they see it come across this like Crystal Cove thingy, and then and it's like and they come across some weird hadrosaurs. They look very weird. Everybody's still mad at Sammy because also she works for Manticorp, which that's like a conspiracy. I'm like, who and what is Manticorp? And her family, quick story, her family, she really needed the money because her family farm was going to go away, and they said that they would rather lose anything, but Sammy signed up for it because she didn't want her family, to lose everything. So that's what she was there for. She was a spy, and so back to the Parasaurolophus. They are now in like Crystal Cove with the Parasaurolophus and everything, and they're looking and they find that, and they're just like, oh my god, it's Parasaurolophus. Then they start attacking the boat, but then there's like water moving. They're like, oh wait, water? And then Darius, and then Brooklyn, and then Sammy says, oh wow, I would like to do that for my family. And then Kenji says, you should make amends with Sammy. You already know how bad she feels. And by the way, Kenji kind of has like a crush on Brooklyn, and they call it the CKK, Cool Kids Kayaking. It's so funny, Cool Kids Kayaking, and it's very funny. So then they're like, wait, we're not paddling. How are you still moving? We're going down a drain. Go down the drain, and then like, okay, we made it out. Now where are we? And Kenji's like. And then Ben goes, I know what that gasp was. What was that gasp? He's like, guys, I know where we are. We're in the Jurassic World Lagoon. And he goes, and let me guess, there's some aquatic dinosaur getting ready to eat us or something. He's like, and it's home to the Mosasaurus. They're in the Mosasaurus paddock. And the Mosasaurus is now swimming under them and stuff. And then they start paddling away. Yasmina is in the boat with Ben. She jumps out, just tries to distract it. Grabs like a thing and starts banging. Goes like, boom, boom, hey. And then it gets attracted to that. Start going. Yeah, so it's amazing. So they do all of that stuff, and yeah, it's just a very cool episode. Yasmina gets hurt, and yeah. So, that's that episode. I would rate that episode, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 stars, just because it's not my favorite episode. It's a good episode. It's not my favorite episode. I feel like that they could have done a little bit more with it. And yeah, that's episode 6. Now on to episode 7. They leave the Mosasaurus Lagoon. Yasmina's leg is badly wounded, and now Brooklyn and Sammy just made an amends to each other, and so that's good. And they hop on, like, they see a monorail, and it's like, then Brooklyn goes, well played, universe, well played. And then they start running, but then Toro's like in like the area, and they run away from Toro, get up the stairs. Then the monorail, Toro starts trying to run up the stairs, crashes down, the stairs break, they all fall. the Toro falls down. They made it in, and they're like, "Oh my god, we freaking made it, guys! We're going to survive." Kenji is like, everything seems to go wrong. We feel like they're safe. Doors are going to open, everything like that, and all of a sudden they see the pterodactyls. The pterodactyls swarm the train, and Ben. And then, long story short, Ben tries to hop out of the plane, and then they save each other. But then Ben. A pterosaur grabs Ben. We think Ben, and well, Ben is dead. Or so we think. Episode 7, and they are now trying to make their way back to the monorail, and then they go, and I believe this is, okay, so that was episode 7. Now we go to episode 8, and, wait, no, oh crap, episode 7 was, last day of camp, then episode 8, end of the line. So they're running their way to the monorail, and they can't get to it, and then they go underground at one of the places where Kenji is, and they go in, and they try to get there, and it's blocked up, and then Toro comes in, and they try to make an explosion happen. They do. Toro's badly injured. Toro walks away. They're trying to get out, and they somehow get out, and then they drive over. Everybody has evacuated, and then they get there. Everybody's gone. Like, okay, we might be stuck on the island, but we still have each other. We wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for you, Darius. And by the way, they lose track of Bumpy when they roll down a cliff, because they hop out of the train, and they lose track of Bumpy, and we see Bumpy is running towards something. He gets a drink of water, says something, runs over, and then Ben is alive. And so I would rate that episode 5.5 stars, just because that is an amazing, well put together episode. So that is my 37-minute review on Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, the Netflix series. I would highly recommend going on Netflix right now. Remember, this was a spoiler review. I just technically spoiled it for all of you if you watched it without going on and watching it beforehand. So hope you guys enjoyed my review as much as I did. I had an amazing time doing this for you. I had an amazing time editing this for you, even though it took a while. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Chars. Bye.